Hi everyone, I'm just making this video because there are a lot of first-time sellers of the fragrances and they don't know how to ship a fragrance and how to basically, not really shipping, is about the packaging of the fragrance so it's as safe as possible to get to the other party, specifically when it's not, you don't have the box of the fragrances. So this is fragrance that I've just recently sold and I just want to show you how do I pack it, and for my future first sellers, conveniently I will have a video to share with them when they ask me how to pack the fragrance, how to send it. So number one, I'm gonna show you what I did with the cap. So you see a little bit, I wrapped a little bit of Teflon, that's not Teflon, but that's a plumber's tape, this kind of tape around the cap. Sometimes it helps with the extra leakage from the cap. Not sure like if that's really effective. I just put it for the extra security measure. So you put the cap on. If the cap is something that, see, like I can hold this up by like the cap like that, like, so it's pretty secure in the cap. But if the cap is something flimsy, would easily come off. If you just, like, you know, some of them have like edges that you can just flick them and it'll easily come off. You may need to secure the cap a little bit without ruining the label of the fragrance. Sometimes what I have done is to, and I can show you how to do it, without ruining the label, you could put the fragrance in a Ziploc bag. Generally, it's actually a good idea to do that, because if it leaks, at least it will be contained in the Ziploc bag and not damage the whole package or be pulled over because, you know, there's an extra leakage mark out and then what's that kind of thing. So to secure the cap, sometimes what I have done, which in this case I don't need, but I'll show you, is to put one of these kind of tapes around, just make it secure on top and the bottom like that. Okay, and then you also can do from the other way. You could also wrap like a cellophane, is that what it's called? Cellophane paper or like something like that, or you can just paper around if you don't want to use a Ziploc bag. Around like that, just to secure the cap. So sometimes you could just do this to secure the cap and prevent it from flipping over. So there's that. So once you've done that, what you will need is some bubble wrap. So like, and don't be greedy about use of the bubble wrap, but you don't have to go over and over. As long as the fragrance is wrapped twice in bubble wrap like that, it's enough. And then I love to use my tape gun, and that I would tape this. Trigger warning, it's going to be loud right now. You can reduce the volume, okay. And then so one around like that, and then I will also try to fold one part down and the other part the other way. Again, give some extra cushioning to certain parts of the fragrance like that, and I'll tape it like that. Okay, so this is your fragrance, and this is you know, the way that you put it in the bubble wrap, gives it some extra cushioning. What's really important is not only the fragrance that it's been wrapped in bubble wrap pretty good. But also, do not use a giant box for shipping a fragrance, because what's important in a fragrance is that it's not really you know, like bumping around the box and it's loose. Even though it's in the protection, it's loose a lot. It's kind of snug and tight and has enough protection, but it's snug and tight. So the smallest bottle that can give that protection and it's snug, it's the best. Okay, so this one would fit perfectly. This is a 6 inch by 4 inch by 4 inch box, and when you're using a box, make sure you're not using a flimsy box that you could dent it with, you know, with your thumb if you push it. This is a sturdy box comparing to like some of the flimsy Amazon box or other boxes. Just make sure that you're using a good box. I buy them in bulk, and you take the bottom, and it's easy. You put it in. Sometimes I try to put some, this is some shipping peanuts. See, that kind of thing, shipping peanuts on the bottom. Gives it a little bit of a cushioning. Now you don't need a lot because the fragrance is pretty good wrapped in that. Put the fragrance on top. Here it is, and just make sure that you fill all the empty spots with the shipping peanuts. Or if you don't have shipping peanuts, you can use the newspaper shredding, or like shredding paper, flyers, whatever that is, right? And making sure that if you are careful about the weight also, because the reason I use the shipping peanuts is like they are lighter, and the weight of the box is not going to come to too much, because the higher the weight of the box it is, the more you're going to pay for shipping. So here it is. I'm trying to fill all the spots with shipping peanuts. Put it down a little bit. Make sure that there isn't a lot of room for it to go around. Okay, and then down the top. See, it's just, I'm putting some extra pressure on the top, and just make sure that it's going to be loud in a second, so you can mute it. Make sure you go over once, twice, and then once, twice. And then push down on all the sides, because sometimes the tape doesn't really stick, but make sure you push down all the sides. You just get the extras, and here it is. You have your box, and see, nothing is rattling around. Like, there's nothing rattling around in this box. It's snug and tight. Versus if I had used this box, it would be so much space, and it would take so much shipping peanuts, etc. Save your boxes, especially the small boxes. As long as there's a sturdy box, it doesn't matter what it is. As long as it's a sturdy box and it's the fragrance fits tight and snug in it, then you're good to go. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, turn on notification, and I shall see you later. Bye bye.